Ndị be anyị ekenekwanụ m unu. Anyị sị ka nke onye chiri ya zelụkwa. Anyị si ndụ mmiri ndụ azụ, mmiri atara m azụ anwụra. Anyị sọ ya dara n'Igbo na mma na ya dịka echi na echi ada agwụ agwụ. Otu anyị kwuru ya, otu akọ ya dịrịrị. Ise dịka o si dị, ife anyị ji maka ewebe n'iru akwụkwọ bụ ya bụ program anyị na-eme every morning na anyị na-akpọ ya morning tea n'iru akwụkwọ. Ebe ife ka anyị ji maka ya wee bịa. O nwere nnukwu update anyị wetara n'iru akwụkwọ. Ife a bụ cabinet meeting on United States of Biafra gbasara maka the way forward and the update on Biafran Prime Minister and Maazị Nnamdi Kanu. Ya bụ ife ka anyị chịkọrọ, ya bụ ife ka anyị wetara n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị uhuruchi nke taa. Biko ọ bụ na nke ụbọchị izi gị kaba alụ ka ịtụsa ya bụ ozi na ị ga-esia ya and dropụra ife iche n'ụdị nke gị gbasara maka ya bụ ife niile na ụmụnne anyị dị iche iche kwugasịrị n'iru akwụkwọ on their own opinion. All right, over to you, sir.
Like when somebody was saying that somebody was giving $50 million to an individual, that is a pure lie. And then you come out publicly to spew this nonsense to Biafrans because people just listen to you on the social media. Let us go ahead. And for those Biafrans, again, one more thing I want to say. I don't have any problem with anybody trying to do whatever or say there's freedom of information. But when that freedom of information amounts to spreading falsehood to the public, that's not acceptable. And for those of you that are being used by the Nigerian government, and when you go online or Twitter space, all you talk is about Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE, Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE. I ask you a question. Is Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE the freedom that you're fighting for? Is Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE the independent of the United States of Biafra that you are tasked to do by our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, and by our Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu? Is Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE your problem? Is that the freedom you're supposed to fight? Is that the terrorists you're supposed to fight? Is that the Nigerian state that are bringing people, the integrated terrorists, to kill our people? Is that the independent you're supposed to be fighting for? When you spend 8 hours on Twitter space and talking about Dr. ORABUEZE, you think that will change anything? That will not change a thing. The roadmap, the plan for the restoration of the independent state of Biafra is already mapped out by our Prime Minister. That template must be followed from beginning to end. If you like, you go on social media, stay there, cry from now to the next 100 years. It's not going to move anything. It's not going to stop Biafrans. So I implore all Biafrans to come together. This is not the time to start backbiting. This is not the time to start going on air to just waste your precious time. The time you will use to be talking about Dr. ORABUEZE or Defense Minister or Information Minister or somebody else, you can use that time to map out something strategic for Biafra. You can use that time to meet the county or the congressman in your region and tell them about Biafra. You can use that time to go to the offices of individuals that are going to financially help us to restore, establish our military, establish our police, because we need the funding. That is what you're supposed to be doing. But if you continue to come online and disrupt what we do, that means we believe the Nigerian state is using you to disrupt what we are doing. And we are going to give you the treatment that you need. I promise you that. Now let's go ahead and take the questions. Thank you so much. Secretary Agi.
Thank you so much, DPM. Biafrans appreciate all you do for them. Just keep doing what you are doing. The end will justify the means. Thank you so much. I'll go ahead and take the question as I see them from my own end. First person is Wealth. Wealth, go ahead. Wealth, unmute yourself, please. Wealth.
No, I have no question.
Your hand is up. Okay, let me bring it down then. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. John PM, please go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, good evening, Biafra. Good evening, our DPM. The beautiful woman, the action woman. Why I jaga? Gavalai Soglazo. Sorry for using that ego. The question I have to ask, number one question, I have 5, but let me just ask 2. One, the day we declare Biafra in the Finland, is it a Biafra people declare Biafra, or is it NGOZI ORABUEZE declare Biafra? One question. 2, which army our DPM is greeting? Is it the one our PM built, Butuzo, or which army is that? Because Butuzo said he did not recognize her. He don't know her. 3 question. Why begging Tunumbu if we are fully recognized? Why begging Tunumbu to recognize you if international have recognized you? Thank you for the 3 questions.
Thank you so much for those 3 questions. Who declared Biafra in Finland? Biafrans declared the restoration of the independence of Biafra. If you listen to what I said, our Prime Minister was supposed to do that declaration, but almost like a week or 2 before our declaration in Finland, Nigerian state connived with Finland and some agents, some Biafran agents, both at home and abroad, and they took away our Prime Minister. So that made it impossible for our Prime Minister to physically declare the independent state of Biafra. Because our Prime Minister was supposed to do that. But before that day, before the declaration, remember we were already running a government, the Biafra Republic government in exile, that ushered in the United States of Biafra. So our declaration document, as I stated, was supposed to be signed by our Prime Minister. So when they removed our Prime Minister, it became a chaos for all of us, and we didn't know what to do. And I strongly believe that in the midst of that chaos, our Prime Minister already know each and every one of us, how everyone acts, what everyone has been doing, how each person does. And because our Prime Minister maybe knew that there might be some individuals in the Biafra Republic government in exile that may bring chaos during the declaration, before then, the Prime Minister had to send out that notice that I should be the surrogate. And the surrogate is somebody that will be acting in the place of our Prime Minister until he joins us. So the Prime Minister does not need to do that because we already had a structure. Even when our Prime Minister was around, I was the Chief of Staff. So the structure is already laid out. But because some individuals decided to cause chaos during the time our Prime Minister was taken away, maybe that was why the Prime Minister knew that these individuals will continue to cause the chaos. So upon the structure we already had, before our Prime Minister was taken away, the Prime Minister also had to now let the world know this is the person that will be his surrogate. So, like I said, he doesn't need to do that. But in the declaration of the independent state of Biafra in Finland, it was supposed to be done by our Prime Minister. In the absence of our Prime Minister, that task fell on me, on behalf of the whole Biafrans. The second question.
Mr. John, are you really? Do you wanna? Don't interrupt the DPM, please. Just hold on. And so she's going to ask her a second question.
Again, somebody has to do that. Again, if you don't understand my answer, the Prime Minister was supposed to do that. Over 1,500 Biafrans gathered all over from the world to be in Finland. They came to do the declaration. So all the Biafrans that were in Finland, at that time, they came to declare. The second question, he said, Butuzo told you something. Again, if you can bring Butuzo here on this meeting to use his mouth to tell us what you said he told you, then I will be able to answer that question. Then the third question, why begging Tinubu? Nobody is begging Tinubu. You do not need the approval of your oppressor to be an independent nation. It's just like a husband and wife that are living together. If the husband is maltreating the wife does not need the permission of the husband to run away from the house. It is the power vested on the wife to leave the bad relationship. So Nigeria does not have to approve for Biafra to be an independent nation. The United Nations, the European Parliament, they have a criteria. Not that we are following these individuals, because we know they are the one partnering with the Nigerian state, milking our oil to continue to kill our people. Like I said, we've met the whole criteria to be an independent nation. That is why we declared in Finland. So we're not begging Tinubu. We are only putting the right documents on the right table. As we are submitting these documents, we are also forwarding these documents we submitted to the Nigerian state to some international bodies that are asking us for those proof. That's exactly what we are doing. We're not begging anybody. We are just doing the right thing towards a peaceful separation and notifying Nigeria about our independence, our declaration in Finland is just what we've done. Thank you so much. Next person.
Thank you.
There's
Thank
no,
you.
there's no
Honorable
answer
Deputy
yet.
Prime
There's no
Minister,
answer
please.
you didn't need yet.
Thank
No
Hold on.
Okay,
If
I
you can
think I have
permit
to
me, I
just
would like
let
to.
him know. He didn't come here to ask questions. I'm going to get him out. Thank you. Go ahead, Honorable Chair.
Yeah, I would have loved to ask him some questions because he talked about begging Tinubu or whatever. So I wanted to understand if he actually read the documents and where he got that information that that the government was begging anybody for anything. So sometimes it's very, very important for us. I think it's an opportunity to lay those emphasis that whenever we see an information, do not focus on the headline. Go ahead and read the details so that you can understand yourselves. It is not enough that we follow the headline, especially when we know that the Nigerian media can be very, very unprofessional in their conduct. So they are used to putting headlines that do not actually reflect the actual message or the content of whatever letter that they are publishing. So it's very, very important for everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair.
Thank you so much. And I'll just say, even though that some people may come here with some opinionated ideas, I want to also hear where they are coming from, and because some of the individuals and what they do and where they are coming from is already with a set kind of misinformation they hear from the public and from the social media, and it will also be okay for us to they know that we are here to clarify their questions. And like Honorable just said, if you do not have enough information to back up the misinformation you have here, please just ensure you keep that to yourself. Thank you so much. Next person.
Thank you so much. Biafrans, if you are coming here to ask the DPM question, please address her as DPM, not her first and last name. At least she occupies that position, even if you don't like her as an individual. Respect the position that she occupies. Thank you so much. Mazi Omenihu Onyebuchi, please go ahead.
Good evening. Am I coming up?
Yes.
I'm coming from UK. First of all, I want to commend our Deputy PM for doing all he's doing. And may God continue to protect and help her to pioneer this very struggle, which God have handed into her hand. I don't know whether we are permitted to ask questions to some of the secretaries, like the one Interior, Secretary Dorothy. Can I ask a question for her?
Yeah. Again, if the question is not for me, you can also call the person you want to answer the question. Again, the overall session is for me to really answer most of the questions. But if you have any question you want a particular secretary to answer, you're free to do that. Please go ahead.
Okay, let me finish with you first. Your own question is, I had Adadorama said that she's your sister. I must say that she has been doing a good job during the time we had this problem, but now that she had deviated, what can you do to save this very struggle from the hand of your sister? Because her altercations and utterances is an embarrassment to this very struggle. That is for you. Then for for Secretary Dorothy, I applied for my ID card initially. I was among those first people that applied. And the person I did it together came to Finland and collected hers and came back to UK. So when this issue of ID card came up again, I have to email the Secretary Dorothy. Then I gave them my number, everything. They now wrote back to me and said that my form is incomplete. When they said that, I said, okay. I wrote them back again today. So what is incomplete in my form? State it clearly. What is incomplete in my form? They now wrote back to me and said, no, you have to go and start again and fill another form. The other Friday I came online there. I was just online there when I was kicked out because somebody from Angola was interrupted. And immediately I relaxed and said, okay, let me come back again. She kicked me out of the air. And I tried to go back. They say I have been kicked out. So I don't know what is incomplete in my form. And instead of them to address the issue, they'll be telling you it is admin. Everything in UK is not admin. Some people fill their form on their own. It's not admin. Let us stop using UK issue as admin. I filled my form. They have to tell me what is incomplete in my form, and not to tell me to go and start again to do another form. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you so much.
Dorothy, are you here?
Excuse, hold on. Let me answer my own.
Okay,
Hold
thank
on,
you.
Dr. Dorothy. Let me answer my question, then you answer yours. You asked me a question about Adadorama being my sister and what I have to say with the damage she is doing on the social media. Again, what I have to say is this. We are running a government right now. We are running a government, and anyone that respects that government should be very, very mindful and cautious of the information they spew out on the social media. This government supports freedom of speech, the rights of individuals, right of association, and like I've said, what we will not allow is misinformation on the social media. Every Biafran is either my brother or my sister, and I'm not going to allow anyone to use brother or sister to misinform Biafrans. Again, part of that misinformation is what we are going to clarify to Biafrans here today, because so many misinformations has been sent out by this individual, and some Biafrans are already so sad, so depressed because of these lies that are being spewed out by this individual. We're going to address that. Yeah. But on a general note, every Biafran is my brother or my sister. In fact, I have brothers and sisters all over the world. Because somebody that is even not your own blood brother or blood sister can be nicer to you, can do good things to you. You can have a good relationship, even with a stranger, more than the so-called brothers and sisters. The reason why Biafra has not been fully restored is because of those so-called brothers and sisters. They are the ones that will go behind and collude with the delegitimized Southeast and South governors, collect money from them, and then start fighting against the genuine freedom fighters we have in our country. Biafrans are mostly the culprits, because It is the rat inside that tells the one outside to come in that there's fish in the basket. So we have to take those responsibilities. We need to start reorienting ourselves. Those of you that were saying when our leader Nnamdi Kanu had a problem, oh, you are not going to do anything. You will just stay one place until our leader Nnamdi Kanu comes out. What do you have to say today? If our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa has said, okay, he's not going to do anything until Nnamdi Kanu comes out, are we going to be where we are today? Are we going to be where we are today? So those that make those kind of comments are not only ignorant, but they do not understand where we are going in the area of our freedom and the restoration of the country. When you think you have a relationship with somebody, with one of the leaders, then if something happened to that leader, you say, oh, because you didn't see the leader you like, you are now going to stay and start sabotaging and start making comments that are not right to the leader that is active. You are doing more harm to the struggle than you think. And it don't work that way. Know that you don't have the opportunity or the freedom to follow whoever you want to follow. After all, there are people that decided they won't do anything again until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes out. It is okay, and they are entitled to that opinion. But if you want to wait, you must seal your mouth and go and wait for Nnamdi Kanu to come out. You do not come out and start destroying what another individual or what Prime Minister Simon Ekpa is doing because he is out. So that's what I have to say in that angle. Secretary Dorothy, you can go ahead, please.
Thank you so much, DPM. Dr. Dorothy, go ahead, please.
Thank you very much. My video is not on, but nevertheless, I can speak like this. The way it is. Actually,
you can go ahead and start your video now, Dr. Dorothy.
First of all, what country are you located, or are you resident?
UK.
Your application, like I always say, you were saying it's not everything will be talking about the admin. Bearing in mind that half or even more than half of the applications sent from UK is either not complete, or their passport pictures are not uploaded, or their signatures are not there, or their IDs are not there. And I'm stating categorically clear that I've been calling those in UK one-on-one with my phone number, because the way you're sounding, it looks like, oh, I'm just wasting my time. Check the email. I've responded to your email 3 times. I'm just looking at it on my phone here. And you are sounding as if, I don't want to answer to your question. Even those, most of those in UK, it's like I'm arguing with them. Some of them I have to take screenshots of where the passport section is to send to them before they can believe that actually their passport pictures are not there. Please kindly go back again and log into your application and see what is there. And after this, give me a call, and I'm going to make sure that you see what is wrong with your application. I've been on this application since morning.
All right.
When one is working that hard, and 1 or 2 people are just saying as if one hasn't, don't know what he or she is doing, is kind of ridiculous.
Please, Dr. Dorothy, please, thank you so much for that clarification. I mean, we just are here to answer questions to people
Okay.
are asking and let them know how to. Again, I know the person that has a question, Dr. Dorothy has said you can contact her after this session. And just know that there are so many applications that we are processing. And at this time, that's why we are encouraging Biafrans that think they can help in any field. I know a lot of secretaries have said that, to apply in the different departments so that you can help out in any area possible. And that is why we've been able to get a lot of individuals on standby to start work from day one. So please, I implore you to reach out to her after this and clarify that. But just know that we are doing our best to ensure that every application that we receive, we are giving it the attention it needs. Even if it didn't go on the second batch, which I told people is already filled up, it's going to go either on the third or fourth batch of applications of ID card for Biafrans. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Dr. Adi.
Thank you, DPM. Mazi Chijioke, can you unmute yourself, please?
My greeting to you, Excellency, our DPM, and I greet every Biafran here present. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. DPM, I have one question for you, and the other question you can answer me if possible, or the Defense Secretary can answer that. The question I have for you, DPM, is this. There is something that looks like a mission impossible that has fallen once on the shoulder of Mazen Nandekano and also on the shoulders of our PM. But I see it now that it has fallen more harder on your shoulder, because when it fell on their own shoulder, Biafra has not been redeclared. So that question is, now that Biafra has been redeclared, will there be election in Biafra land? That is the question I have for you. And the second question I have, which you may answer me, or the Secretary of Defense can answer, is this. Has not been ready. Is there any maximum time frame to say, okay, 40 years, 1 year, 6 months, maximum, these demons we see on the street of Biafra, that we shall see them no more? Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so much. On the first question, election in Biafra land, if you go through our constitution, it clearly states there will be an election when we fully secure our land, when we secure our territory. That constitution, which I know the IT department, they're trying to put it online. For those who do not have a physical copy of the United States of Biafra Constitution, can go ahead and obtain that. Yes, there will be election in Biafra land.
Sorry, my question was about Nigerian election in Biafra land, not our own election.
Oh, you talked about Nigerian election. Again, Biafra is a full-fledged nation, and we will not permit any election in Biafra territory. That is the answer to that. And that is why we are doing everything possible, using the peaceful means to let Nigeria leave our land. So that is the expectation, that they will peacefully leave our land. The second question you asked was about what was this?
Time frame.
Time frame. Again, our Prime Minister said that our declaration, the Declaration of Independence State of Biafra, is to help us obtain all the necessary documents we need to protect our land. Our Prime Minister has templates, 3 ways we're going to be doing this: politically, diplomatically, and self-defense. We will continue to apply those 3 methods to protect our land until Biafra is fully defended, is fully protected. And that will be the answer to that. The question to that, we don't know, but we expect this to happen as quickly as possible. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, DPM. Next person is Mazi Chubeze. And DPM, is it okay if I say anything related to the ID card question should be held till Friday when they do their, when ID department, instead of, that might take some.
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know the question each individual want to ask. We just want to allow them to freely. If it relates to that, we can always refer that.
Okay, thank you. Mazi Chubeze, go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, our honorable DPM, for the good work you're doing. Thank you, all the cabinet members and all the Biafrans who are here today to ask questions, to listen what our government is doing. I appreciate you guys. It's not an easy thing. But before I ask my question, I will make an appeal to all the cabinet members, take a redress from our DPM. I thank our DPM the way you are coming down to answer questions.
ndị be anyị ngwadalụ nne nnukwu n'isi wee na-esonyere anyị n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị uhuruchi nke taa ka efi were ekwu gbasịta maka ya bụ ihe Biafran Chief of Staff kwuru n'iru akwụkwọ bụ Dr. NGOZI ORABUEZE. Gịnị ka i were ekwu n'ụdị nke gị gbasịta maka ya bụ ife ndị a niile nọ okwu n'iru akwụkwọ? Drọpụọla ya alụ gị, drọpụọla ife iche n'ụdị nke gị ka a mara ife iche your own reaction gbasịta maka ya bụ ife na Eastern News 24 ebe anyị si wetara ya bụ ozi. Ọzọ dị ka ibe ya bụ tụsakwa ya bụ ozi ka ụmụnne anyị dozi n'ebe dị iche iche wee marakwa ife na-emenụ and wee mara the update on the latest development on Biafra Republic government in exile. Daalụ rinne na ụmụnne m ka emesịanụ.